Greeting everyone. This video is for my cigar smokers, especially if you're new getting into cigars, and there's this concept of your palate, and people talk about how do you develop your palate. And your palate is your taste for the cigar and understand what you're smoking. Okay, a cigar is made up of three components: the binder, the wrapper, binder, and the filler, which is the tobacco. Often, they're all from different places. Lots of times, Cuban cigars, the binder, the wrapper, and the filler is all Cuban. In the Dominican Republic, lots of their cigars, the binder may be from Ecuador somewhere. The wrapper, but the binder and the tobacco is normally Dominican. So here's how you do it. And each one of those give you a different flavor in your mouth. So once you're smoking your cigar and it get wet, that's where you get the taste, and you get taste from smoke. But now we're going to talk about developing your palate. Any cigar you smoke, I want you to pull it up on the internet, and I want you to read about that cigar. So here, I'm going to look away for a second, and I'm going to tell you what I'm smoking right now. Arturo Fuente Rosado Sun-Grown Magnum RR Vitola, and the ring gauge is 54. My favorite ring gauge is 54 or below. That's what I like to smoke. I'll smoke something above 54, but it's not my preference. So now, when you pull up the cigar, they're gonna give you the ranking, the price, where it's made, the factory, the dimensions. That's how you know it's a 54 ring gauge. It's a 6 1/4 inch length, and it's a 54 inch ring gauge. But here's where you start learning how to develop your palate. The filler, which is the tobacco, is Dominican. The binder, which goes around the tobacco holding together, is also Dominican. And the wrapper, this outer layer that you see, is from Ecuador. So that's the first part in developing your palate. So what happens next is they'll have a paragraph telling you the history of the cigar, when it was made, and you keep reading and you get down to the section where it starts talking about flavors. And it says, the result is a sublime balance of elegant cigar with plenty of sweet wood and earth flavors, just a touch of leather and a sweet finish. Guys, that sounds very complex. So it says, just a touch of leather and sweet finishes. That's very hard to, you don't actually taste leather or sweet finishes in your mind how you think a sweet finish is. But you gotta constantly smoke that cigar over and over again and concentrate. You're not gonna be able to do that in a lounge, having a conversation, at a bar, having drinks, talking to people. You need to sit back at home, relaxing, and you need to concentrate on tasting those flavors. Okay, and another cigar, when you read it about it, it may say you're gonna taste notes of chocolate or hints of coffee. Not in the sense of how coffee and chocolate taste, But you got to concentrate and smoke that cigar over and over again to develop your palate, and you will taste it. Sooner or later, every cigar you smoke, when I started smoking and developing my palate, every cigar I smoked, I bought 5 of them. The first one I smoked it, kept smoking, and I tried to develop my palate to see if this cigar did what they say it was gonna do. And guys, it's a process. It takes time. But once again, understand, where it says hints of coffee or notes of chocolate, you're not gonna really taste chocolate and coffee how you know how coffee and chocolate taste. This is going to be very subtle hints and notes, and you concentrate but the key is every cigar you smoke, pull it up online and read about it while you're smoking and see what they say it's supposed to do. And that's how I develop my palate. And sooner or later, man, somebody can give you a cigar without a label on it. You don't know what it is, and you'll be able to tell them that's a Dominican cigar, that's a Nicaraguan cigar, that's a Cuban cigar. That cigar is probably from the United States. You'll be able to do that without knowing what it is. But you gotta develop your palate, and it takes time, okay? It takes time, okay? I hope that was helpful.